Had some guys miss practice, and number of guys. So we're illness and a couple other things. So I'm not going to get into any more specifics on that until game time. But we're obviously deep into preparation for Purdue Fort Wayne. You know, it's a group that I think they're going to have a very good season. You know, we had a unique game with them last year where it was really 18 minutes to go. It was a 1 or 2 possession game. And then we made some shots, they missed some shots, and the score was not indicative of really the kind of game it was. You know, they're a team that beat a team in our league by 20, just in recent memory. A lot of those guys are back. They have a really talented freshman transfer from Kansas State. John does a tremendous job putting those guys in really difficult positions to guard. He's a really good coach. So it's going to be a challenge for us, and I'm anxious to see how our guys kind of respond to you know, a game that was really unlike any we'll play the rest of the year the other night. So I know our guys have a lot of respect for the team we're playing, and we need to play well tomorrow. So that's our main focus, and obviously getting guys healthy.
That's 2 games in a row now where you've come out of it saying that's unlike anything we're really going to see. I mean, this
the Villanova game was. What I meant with the Stetson game is just it was out of hand the whole game, and I think our guys know that that's not indicative of how games are. You know, we played Bucknell down to the wire last year here, Radford a couple years ago down to the wire. So I think you know, hopefully our guys understand that. You never know with the young team, but I know these guys have respected what this. You know, what Purdue Fort Wayne has done in the past.
Well, what I was getting at was what challenges that present to you as you're drawing conclusions from these games and getting a feel for your team, that you played 2 games in a row that don't seem to really fit into what you would expect?
Yeah, good question. You just really try to lean on the understanding and the leadership of your older guys. And, you know, I think in a lot of ways, Adam, that's a good thing that you don't have, you know, we don't anticipate having another game like the other night because we need to grow and grow through, you know, all the stuff that comes up when you're playing a team that puts you in difficult positions. They have a 5-man that can make threes. Their 4 can really make threes. Every year they're top, you know, 25 in the country in 3-point attempts, 3-point makes, which always is a very dangerous team. They really spread you out. They get to the free throw line. They've got they start 6'5", 6'5", 6'5", 6'7", 6'11". So you know, I think your leadership has to be good there.
Chris, this was the first time we saw Andre up close. And,
yeah.
You know, the eye still looks gnarly. I'm curious, when you first saw him after the game, when he got hit, what it looked like and what your reaction was, because I imagine it was worse at that point.
Yeah, he's one of the toughest kids I've ever coached, for sure. I'd put him easily top 5 toughest kids I've ever coached. So he just manages injuries, you know, and he plays in a really physical way. So, you know, from the teeth last year to various, you know, you just, I laughed when I went to the hospital. I told his mom and dad, I think I've spent more time with him in the hospital than anybody I've ever coached. Keep ending up over there, but it's just that he really lays his body out, and you know, that was a freak elbow, but it looked, you know, it looked rough, and it still does a little bit. He tried wearing goggles, did not like them, so took them off the second day he was wearing them in practice.
And with Justin and his back, he kind of took us through what happened and whatnot. How cautious are you with somebody who's dealing with a back injury and maybe some other injuries where, you know, if they get banged or something like that, it may not be as serious as a back injury?
Yeah, I really follow the lead of our medical personnel when it comes to that. And I think it was a more significant injury than probably any of us realized at the time. And just the amount of recovery, the loss of strength, the limitations that were gonna put on him as he got back. He struggled with it. He's really struggled with it because he was in such a good place in the spring. And it just completely set him back physically. But he's got to keep the right attitude and the right approach and keep coming every day and do all his rehab and get another MRI, and it showed there's progress. So he's just, you know, as much as in these things, you know, it's your attitude, your mental approach as much as anything. We're going to help him through that. It's a difficult thing, but he's got to have the right mental attitude and approach through injuries.
Chris, forgive me if I push too far on this, but I'm curious. You said you didn't want to get into specifics, but about how many players are you keeping an eye on right now that you're concerned about their availability tomorrow?
I would say 3 or 4. Yeah, 3 or 4 that between flu and just kind of getting banged up a little bit. I would include Andre in that as he continues to kind of come back. But you know, we just got a little bit banged up in practice, and we had the flu going around a little bit.
How has practice been with all these players banged up and ill? Have workouts been what you want them to be, or has that been hampered?
Yeah, yesterday we had to go a little shorter than I would have liked to. You know, because we were down. In particular, we were kind of short of a position or two, so it was really limited what we could do. But you know, it's part of it. You know, it's probably more than we've had in the past. But some of that, I think, is a byproduct of having a younger team too, and some of that is just kind of freakish things.